Why does the United States appears in almost every major geopolitical conflict around the world, from Latin America to the Middle East to the Eastern Europe, and now even in the Arctic? Is this about spreading democracy? I don't think so. Is it about national security? Really? Or is it about something deeper? The survival of global power. In this video, we are going to talk strategically. Using facts, data, real world example, we will decode over here why energy security drives global intervention, why China and Russia are the real strategic challengers, and how markets, metal, and money play a silent but decisive role. This video is not about blaming any country, it is about understanding geopolitics as a system. Since World War II, the United States has functioned as the central pillar of a global order. The US dollar became the global reserve currency. US Navy secured the global trade routes, and US backed institutions shaped the global finance. But power is not permanent. History has shown us British Empire declined, Spanish Empire collapsed, Ottoman Empire faded, and today the US faces the structural pressure, not sudden collapse, but in near future, that is what we can see. The question is over here, how does a global power delay declining? The answer is controlling over the energy, controlling over the trade routes, and control over the capital flow. This brings us to the first reason, energy security. Energy is not just a fuel, energy is economic oxygen. The United States consumes roughly 20 million barrels of oil per day. That is about 20% of a global oil consumption, while having only 4% of a world population. Even with shale oil the US has. Still, it depends on a global energy price stability. Still, it depends and needs secure shipping routes, and still cannot isolate itself from the global energy shocks. So why energy control matters? If oil prices spikes, inflation rises, manufacturing cost increases, political instability follows. This is why the US remain deeply involved in Middle East, Latin America, and the energy choke points like the Strait of Hormuz. Let's assume a hypothetical extreme scenario over here. If the USA somehow controls oil from Venezuela, oil from Saudi Arabia, and oil reserves of the Iran, so why only these three countries? Because together these countries holds over 40% of a proven global oil reserves. Even then, at current US consumption rates, this oil would last roughly 9 to 110 years. That tells us something important. Energy dominance is temporarily leverage, not a permanent security. Which is why USA also looks forward Arctic energy reserves, LNG routes, and renewable transition leadership. But energy is only one side of a power. The second major reason is strategic containment, not direct invasion, not war, the containment. Whose containment? The two global powers, China and Russia. So China's strategy is very different from the past empires. Instead of military bases, China builds ports, railways, power plants, and digital instruments. Through the initiatives like Belt and Road Initiative, investments across the Latin America, Africa, and Asia. By 2023, over 150 countries had signed BRI related agreements, while China became the largest trading partner for more than 120 countries. And this directly challenges the US influence without firing any single bullet. While Russia's power is not economic scale, it is geography. Russia controls the largest Arctic coastline, operates over 40 icebreakers, while US only has 5. And Russia has expanded militarily across the Arctic Circle. So why does the Arctic matters? Because melting ice is opening the shorter shipping routes between the Asia and Europe, untapped oil, gas, and mineral reserves, and strategic military positioning. So, whoever dominates the Arctic dominates future trade routes and security leverage. This is why NATO expansion, Arctic policy shifts, and military posturing we can observe. Now comes the part where most people miss it. Geopolitics is not just about armies, it is about where money flows during chaos, how panic moves capital. Historically, during the global uncertainty, investors rushed to the US Treasury bonds. The dollar strengthened, the US borrowings stayed cheap in that case. This system is one pillar of American power. So China's strategy is slightly different. China controls over 60 to 70% of a current silver production refinement, while after refinement, the complete heavy metal, whatever they have refined, those owned by the China only. As well as China refines almost more than 90% of rare earth elements, whatever currently produced over the world. So once after refinement, the sole owner is China only of rare earth element as well. So in 2025, China controlled the supply of rare earth elements to the world. While in Jan 2026, China also controlled the supply of silver, the refined silver, to the world. So because of all this, the panic increased in the market, and supply chains for the batteries, electronics, defense tech, everything were getting controlled by the China now. So in the recent years, restricted exports of a certain rare earth elements tightened the control on the critical minerals and metals and created the supply uncertainty in the global market. Everything is impacting on increasing prices over here in the market. So all these financial activities and the trade activities are also impacting in a way to the geopolitics as well. So this happened after the 2023 market slowdown when trust in the financial assets weakened, inflation eroded US Treasury bond confidence. So result of all this is nothing but gold demand increased, silver demand surged, as well as hard assets against the preference over the paper debt increased. So this does not destroy the US system, but it weakens its monopoly in the market. So how all these 3 points connects over here, if you connect the dots over here. So energy security is directly connected with the political instability. Strategic rivals increase the influence and erosion in the different regions of the world. They specifically target the small countries, just like what happened in the Ukraine. The battle was between USA and the Russia, but Ukraine is what getting impacted due to the war. And third dot is nothing but market shifts. Financial pressure gets created, right? So the US response is not random. So when all these things are happening in the market and the supply is getting interrupted, so the US response is not random over here, or it is not a random conflict. It is pressure point creation, strategic alliance creation, and the controlling the instability. So any empire or any country that had a power, or the country who has a power now, they can create chaos in the market, create a pressure points, create a strategic alliances, and create a instability in different region to delay its own decline. So this is how great powers behave historically. So the final touch over the topics. So this video is not anti-US, it is not a pro-China, and it is not a pro-Russia as well. It is a pro-understanding. Geopolitics is not about good or bad. It is about interest, resources, and systems. And right now, the global system is transitioning. Question is not will the world change? The question is who adapts faster when it does? If you want a follow-up video on the topics like is the US dollar losing dominance? Can China replace the US led order? And what this mean for India or the global south? For that, please subscribe, like, and comment below. And thank you so much for watching till this point.